I'm not making a third macOS 27 video. This is the iPod 3rd generation. It's my absolute favorite iPod. It's so cool. This one's dead. A little more than dead, I think. Yeah, its hard drive's kind of gone. So we're going to be doing it a couple favors as a demonstration. This is our demonstration iPod. We are going to swap out these red button LEDs. They're not red right now because this thing has no battery, as you can tell here. And this process does require soldering, which can be a little bit inconvenient if you don't know how to solder, but it's not too difficult if you know anything about soldering. You just need a few supplies and also the part where you need to solder, the iron. You do also need the supply to get the iPod apart. I use one of these, stronger iFixit jimmies, but any iPod opening tool works fine. This one's already been opened before, so its shell is kind of bent out. So we're just gonna kind of do this, and there it goes. And for the 3rd gen, the headphone and hold assembly up here is connected through this. My camera really doesn't want to focus on it, but that's the cord that it's connected by. So we'll open it up. Okay, I guess I wrote the diagnostic for this hard drive here. We will grab onto both ends right here, both parts of it, and just kind of wiggle it out. It's not uncommon to end up breaking a solder joint on the connector end or the other connector end, and then you'd need to get a replacement headphone assembly, which can be a little annoying. Take the hard drive out. That's easy. Don't really need it anymore. There's this little, bendy plate that is rubber on the bottom, and it's very sticky all the time. So you also gotta be okay with that. You just gotta deal with it, because it's attached to the hard drive ribbon, and it's what's preventing the hard drive, I guess, from hitting something on the motherboard. I don't know exactly. Next up, we'll need to remove all 6 screws I think the 3rd gen has. One of them is under this piece of tape down here. Oh, I screwed it in over the tape last time. Great. You do also need to disconnect the battery. That is a pretty important part, and it's also kind of difficult if the battery's never been disconnected. If it's completely dead, you don't really have to worry about it, snapping off of its connector piece. And if you even wanted to, you can just cut the wires if you know the battery holds no charge at all, or you don't value the battery that's in it. And then you can pull the battery out as one piece and then just grasp the wires and pull it out from here on its own. But you wiggle it enough and it'll come right out. The battery is also going to be pretty sticky because it's had to be under the rubber goop layer for a while. I'm going to go get a screwdriver. Here's my screwdriver. This isn't the one I usually use. I normally use a little iFixit thing, but I have the bit in this one already, so it's good to go. It's like a T6, I think. Fits fine into these screws. And since this one's motorized, I can just do that. And dispose of your screws. Don't actually throw them away, but temporarily dispose of them. You'll put them back later, but later is not right now. Oh, actually, yeah, before you unscrew everything, I guess you can do this after you unscrew everything, but the board stays held down for this part if you haven't unscrewed everything yet. This cable needs to come out. This is what connects the click wheel, or not the click wheel yet, this is still called the touch wheel. This whole piece connects that to the board. So get a spudger under there or something, just kind of twist, it should come out, and that's all you need to worry about until you get the rest of the board out. Let's take some more screws out. Oh, I dropped that one. Alright, now that you have everything out, the board should just kind of be able to be lifted up and away. And if you disconnected that cable, which is what you're kind of supposed to do, then it should be still connected to this part, but not the board. You can set the board to the side, because that's not what we're working with right now. Take the sticky goop battery out, put that somewhere else too. This is what we are looking for. This is what we're going to be modifying. You can see the LEDs right here. This is the other part of the, or the whole connector, I guess. You can do the same exact thing where you grab a spudger, just twist it, maybe twist it on another side, and it should just pop off. And then the hardest part, the screen. This is the better version of the screen. I don't know when they started using these or stopped using these, but this screen has a shorter cable, which allows it to be disconnected very easily in just about the same exact way. You just kind of get all the way under there, twist, and it comes up. There are versions of the screen, though, with a cable that loops around. And what you want to do before you disconnect the cable to make it easier, because those are incredibly fragile, you put the spudger back here, and you lift up the screen, and then you flip it around, flip it all the way around so that the connector is still connected, but now it's not looped around anymore. And then you can do the same thing, where you very carefully insert a spudger all the way down and then twist a little bit very carefully, because those models of screen are incredibly prone to doing something, creasing and breaking solder joints, and then your display doesn't work. And now we are left with just the front plate. That's all it is. You can see all the circuitry for the touch wheel and the buttons and the LEDs and the diffuser plastic piece. That's what we want to get out next, and it's just, this piece is just glued down. You can get a moderately sharp tool under it. What I would recommend doing first, though, is applying some isopropyl to just like a spudger, and then kind of going like this to get the isopropyl into the little plastic piece. So I'm going to get some isopropyl. Alright, the isopropyl's off to the side. I'm going to dip the spudger in there. It doesn't have to be completely coated, but a good helping, and then just kind of go around. For some reason, this will coat a few things in like blue dye. I don't know what that's all about. There's also a piece of hair here, so that's fun. Don't know where that came from. Anyways, yeah, you can see the like blue dye stuff, maybe from the circuit board right here. Once you have your generous helping, probably shouldn't do that, generous helping of isopropyl applied, you can grab your moderately sharp tool, maybe the same thing you used to open the iPod, and just kind of work under there. See if you can separate this piece. My table is doing a whole lot of creaking. Do the same exact thing where you just get under there and twist. You can use a slight amount of force. There you go. See it get under there? You twist a little bit. Don't twist it completely off because you might snap it, and that would be pretty inconvenient. You can just keep twisting, go around to different spots, and just dig under here. You can rotate it around and get these two pieces, these two little bits that stick up. They're pretty easy to just kind of carve into, I guess. Probably not the right term to use. There we go. This one went out easy. You can lift it up a little bit and then lift your tool all the way through here. Eventually, you can just kind of twist most of it off. Still try not to snap it. There we go. I got this under here. It should be good. Yep. Just kind of lift the rest of it up. And there's the piece. You're going to want to stick it back down later, so do not like throw it away or snap it or anything. And now the 4 LEDs are all right along here. You can grab a pair of flush cutters and apparently not focus with the camera. Oh, okay, we got the close-up camera, we're good. So you're just gonna try and put the flush cutters a little bit above where the solder joint connects to the thing, and then you can snip. I don't actually know how well that worked. Some of these are a little unwell. Cut that. It'll make that noise. You can also just kind of like twist these off, just rotate it in this direction. But if you don't want to risk it, you can just do this. And, oh, okay, that one just fell off. And there's our single LED. Do that again for the rest of these. Oh, I lost that one. I don't know where that went. And that's okay. Oh, it fell out. And that's okay because I'm not going to be reusing it anyways. Now it's all blurry because I've focused on this camera. Oh, that one jumped out again. This is the last one. There we go. And that's all 4 LEDs taken out. Pretty easy, you just gotta be a little bit careful. So currently in this state, the iPod will not have any button backlights if you try and turn it on, but that's where we get the actual LED lights, the replacement ones. Alright, here's the LEDs. You can just like find them on Amazon. We're doing green today. Not really something I would use, but it's just a tutorial / entertainment video. I'm sure all the iPod 3rd gen fans will love this. And the soldering iron is heating up in the background. My flux thing is very not well because I don't have the actual cap for it. Usually I don't remove any of the old solder because there's mostly like none at all. And I'll just apply a very small helping of flux. Oh, I got flux on not what I wanted to get it on. You can't see it on the camera, but I got flux on the plastic. I'm just gonna scrape it off and deal with this spudger later. And also wipe this off with isopropyl later on. Alright, well, everything is ready. I'm gonna get a little tiny fan going. I have no idea if my soldering iron's heated up correctly, but get the little whatever iron in here and our solder. I'm gonna be very left side of the audio today. Let's see if I can fix that later, or if the phone automatically fixes it and makes the audio sound terrible. There we go. That's good. That's very easy. I guess my iron's heated up all the way. That's what you're looking for, just a little tiny blob. And then this next part, I'll grab tweezers. I'm not going to put solder on the other side just yet. I was about to because I'm forgetting how to do this. But you'll just grab tweezers and one of these LEDs. Alright, I got the LED. It's extremely tiny and very easy to drop. There it is. And you'll see that there is both an arrow on the bottom and dots on the top. Those line up with the dot that's on the board. So for these two, the dots are facing that way. And the other two, they're facing the opposite way. So we'll turn this one around if possible. I don't know how easy it's going to be. Alright, it's quite turned around. I don't always get this first try, but we're gonna heat up that solder again and move the LED into it. That might have worked. And then we'll put some solder on the other side. Not to also burn the plastic bits, which is what I might have just done a little bit. It's a very terrible idea to be soldering after I had caffeine, believe it or not. There we go. I feel like that might just be good. My fan's rattling a little bit, but you can also reflow that first solder joint you made. Just make sure that it's all connected well. And I think that's one hopefully successful LED. My fan's rattling pretty bad now, so that's gonna be really, really awesome in the audio. Cannot wait to have to listen to this. Oh, my fan's got a light on it. That didn't change anything in the video, but it's a little brighter, so that's cool. Also, try not to melt the display connector right here. That would be pretty bad. I should also say that I really don't recommend doing this if you don't know what you're doing. It is, like, easy, but that's only because I know what I'm doing. But if you really just don't have any idea what you're doing, then I wouldn't attempt this. Hit this next one now. Closest to the display ribbon, which is always terrifying. I think that's a good second LED. I've done this a few times now, and I have come to accept that there will be pretty large solder blobs. But if you get one that's way too large, or if it's bridging with something else, get a little bit of a copper braid, kind of clean it up. I've had to do that before for one of these that bridged itself with one of the little connections down here. And the iron still has quite a bit of solder left on it. I'm gonna see if it just wants to kind of use that on the other side. I'll have to hope that that works. Also quite off of the camera. Alright, final one. Don't know how well this is gonna go. This last one was not that good. Alright, that's the last one in. I'm gonna keep things running because I don't actually know if I got all these right. I just have to hope that I did. Now we can get on to the testing phase, which is just plugging everything back in. So first, I guess we can bring the diffuser back in. Nah, I'll leave it out. Can put it back in later. It's not an immediate thing that you need to put back in unless you trust yourself that much. We'll put our connector back in here. Actually, first, we'll put our screen back in, which if you have the shorter cable, it will be easy, but you can also have it like looped around like this. If you have the longer cable, plug the cable in and loop it around, set it back into its little thing, and then snap that in without damaging it. Put this connector back in that connects the screen, backlight, whatever, to the board. It's pretty difficult to put it in wrong because you're going to see a whole lot of nothing if you put it in wrong, and you probably won't be able to connect the board anyways. Speaking of the board, let's bring it in, kind of shove it under this connector. Make sure you can actually connect the connector. There we go, I think that's connected. To see the backlight, I'm going to pop out my good old emergency flash storage. Don't know how long I'll actually have this in here. This might just be to get me to diagnostics. We'll plug in flash storage, and that's all you need. The hold switch for the actual iPod is right here for the 3rd gen. The 4th gen updates it to bring it over to the hold assembly, but you can bring in FireWire power or plug in a battery, I guess, if you want to. It's more inconvenient. I'm gonna go get FireWire power. Who's ready for FireWire? There it goes, it's on. I hope this board doesn't have a problem and I have to transfer the faceplate. I also don't know what's on this flash media. Apparently not enough to read. Well, apparently enough to read. Whoa, it is not happy, and I don't know why. Oh, it just totally froze. I think this thing has incredibly not good firmware. Might just be from the flash modded iPod. I'm guessing that it is. While it's off of hold, I'm going to put it into diagnostic, which I think is these 3. See if it enters diagnostics or not. There it goes. Ooh, I saw that for a second. Did you see that? We'll just go to the 5-in-1 test. Press the button a few times. Ooh, there we go. It looks weird because we don't have the diffuser on it. Either that or one of these lights is completely out, but you can see backlight works, other backlight works. You can see the extremely bright light through here. It's a nice emerald green color for now, but it still needs a diffuser. I think that was successful. I think that was just fine. Actually, pretty good. First try. We'll unplug it, and now we can reassemble it. Aren't you ready to reassemble it? You can take the storage back out, or don't. Doesn't really matter. Actually, it does, because you still need to put the diffuser in. Oh, I forgot the spudger still has flux on it. I'll just use my finger to unplug this. It's not as recommended, but it works. Take the board out again. Oh yeah, I need to unplug the screen. Okay, I'll just grab another tool for that. Unplug this. It's not recommended to do this with metal tools, so probably don't. But if your spudger also conveniently got flux on it, then I guess. Go, unplug that, lift it out again, and now we're ready to put this diffuser back on. Oh yeah, actually, before we do that, grab your isopropyl again, and an old toothbrush, or whatever you want to use, and then scrub away the flux. It's supposed to be no clean, but I don't really care. I'm gonna clean it up. I want to clean up the work anyways. And then you let that dry. Doesn't really matter what's happened to the adhesive at this point, it'll still go back down. And that is a pretty good looking, ignore the adhesive, pretty good looking LED swap. Don't know if there's still any flux left. I think it might just be adhesive at this point. You can kind of snap it back down. It should fit around any extra amounts of solder, but if you have too much, you can go back in with the wick, the copper braid, and remove some of it. But I think that's pretty good and very blue, because we got the whatever blue dye everywhere. And then we do the exact same process again. Reassemble. Make sure if you have the long cable, you're very careful. Long cabled screen. Put this back in. Now we can start screwing in screws. So grab a screw. Still leaving this fan on for now just to get anything else away from the area. You should probably put in your battery about now before you start screwing things in, but I don't know if that battery still works. I guess I'll put it in just to have a complete set, and if you've only screwed in the top screw, you can also like unscrew it. But also these boards can be bent a little bit and messed with. It's just a commercial iPod. Put that in. My hands are all sticky from the goop now. I'll screw in my next screw directly over where the battery is supposed to be. Make sure the battery's held down. That's good. I'll have to replace that battery at some point though. More screws. And the last screw, it's the one that goes under the tape, but the tape's broken on this one, so it's gonna go over the tape. Everything's screwed back in. Very good. For now, I'll put this flash media in. I might just restore it. Make sure that we have something compatible with the 3rd gen, because I think this still has 1.5 on it, which really doesn't know how to handle the 3rd gen's controls. And I will also plug this back in. Not difficult. You put one finger behind this, the other finger here. Push it back together. And this is only a temporary shell, so we can put this all back on. Snap it up nice and well. Alright, let's run through the same process again of diagnostic mode. Does it want to... Oh, yeah, it's locked. Okay. Don't know if it's on hold or not. Hold switch might be a little messed up. Work it a couple times if it does that. Make sure that your hold switch on the case is aligned with the hold switch on the motherboard before you put this part on. Come on, diagnostics. There you go. 5 and 1. Hit the backlight test. Ooh, look at that. Nice, bright green. It looks less yellow in person. It's just a very, very vibrant green. Don't know why it was clicking. But, oh yeah, you don't navigate this menu with a click wheel. You go back and forth like this. Like it's an off-brand iPod. Alright, well, that seems to be working. I'm gonna go restore this thing so we can have a proper demonstration. Go to sleep. No, you're supposed to be going to sleep. It's because it had firewire power. It doesn't want to fall asleep. Usually the sleep function is supposed to just give it the low battery signal, so it restarts and shows low battery until it's plugged in again. But as it was still plugged in, I guess it didn't care. Time to restore. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Wait, no, that's just because the battery is actually that low. And I forgot to put it on hold. This hold switch is tough. Alright, we're back and restored. I had to format the entire disk because iTunes still thought that this was a 4th gen. But here we are. We've got no battery. Let's plug it into Firewire. Ooh, it's still holding on. Alright, let's see that beautiful green button. That's pretty green, I gotta say. The display itself has some weird, like, tunnel vision PowerBook style issue. I don't know what that's about, but it does look pretty good. It just needs a cleaning. So there's our full LED swap. You can use this as a tutorial at your own risk. I'm not responsible if you melt through your iPod, because soldering irons can get pretty hot, and I used a pretty hot setting for this. So it's quite dangerous. I wouldn't recommend you do it yourself if you haven't had prior soldering experience. And I'm gonna have a fun time editing this down to like 5 minutes, because a lot of it was me sitting here with the rattly fan in complete silence, just putting a soldering iron to the board of an iPod that I'm not even gonna daily. So I'm probably gonna use these parts for other things.